Roger, welcome inside.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Great to see you. And interesting match today. You had to battle back in the second set. But tell me what it's like to play a match like that in front of Pete Sampras, one of your old rivals and someone you surpassed.
Yeah, I mean, so I didn't know actually that he was there during the game. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's good or bad because, of course, I get excited when my hero from when I was young sits there front and center. But I remember that he was at Novak's game last night and that he was going to be here for the weekend and going to come to the tennis, but then this morning I didn't think of it. And then when the speaker told me that actually Pete was there, I was very, very happy and very excited because we still stay in touch, and I just love seeing Pete back at the tennis sometimes, you know, because he's an absolute legend.
Keep going with that. At this stage of your life, of your career, what still gives you goosebumps?
Saving break points and winning a game and you know, winning tournaments. Yeah, and I think playing in front of a big crowd and hearing a roar, and then playing in front of the likes of Pete Sampras, I think that sums it up right there.
As a child, you famously did not specialize in tennis. Eat, drink, breathe tennis. You played other sports, you rode your bike. Now that you're an adult, what do you think the effect of that generalization is on your tennis? How's that helped you?
Well, I think it helped me in a way that it didn't make me get bored of the game, you know, and I think that's why I would tell all the juniors and kids out there, do other sports too for fun. Go play squash, go ride your bike, go play basketball, go ski, whatever it is, until everything becomes a bit more serious and you can get really hurt. But until you're in the mid-teens, I think you can really do everything, and even later on too. Because if you only start focusing so much on one sport only, I feel like you can get burned out and start seeing the sport for a job rather than actually a hobby. And I still see tennis as my hobby. That became my dream job, you know. But so I think it's really good for the mind to do different sports, even though nowadays I've stopped everything because I'm just too scared to get hurt.
Right. Well, speaking of kids, we saw your full complement of kids in the crowd today.
They were there, yeah.
And I have kids, and I had to make a decision about how I wanted to have them involved in tennis.
Yeah.
So what kind of relationship would you like to have your kids with the game of tennis?
I'm happy if they can sit through a match and not get bored.
Good luck
and then they don't have to play tennis by any means. I'm happy if they enjoy playing tennis a little bit recreationally and with their friends. And if they choose to go pro, which I can imagine, I'll support them, you know. But like again, I'd like them to try out different sports for now. But the sports that we set out that they could or should do, they should do them for longer periods of time, not, you know, do fencing for 2 months and then go play tennis for 2 months, and then there should be a bit of continuation, you know. And I'm happy that they enjoy themselves at the tennis because they have a lot of friends also in town right now with other players who have kids, and they really enjoy the tour. So it makes my life much easier on the road, and if they're happy, I'm happy. It's very simple.
Keep the kids happy. Let's not get into the weed of tennis politics, but I want to ask, as someone who cares deeply about the sport, what do you see as the future? What's the path to growth for tennis?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. We're in a very interesting time, I think, where we need to have a clear plan, and I'm not sure what the plan is, and then that's the little thing, or the big thing I worry about, you know. I do believe we have unbelievable players, great matches, new guys coming through, stadiums are full, prize money has gone up. I don't know where to start. Everything's great. It seems like, you know, ATP has got their own cup coming, Davis Cup is changing its format. We'll see how that will be. Labour Cup is doing really well. So from that standpoint, I think everything's actually great. And then you talk about politics, you're like, oh my God, what's going on here? So I think we need to really figure it out. And I'd like to just feel the pulse a little bit of where we're about to go, because clearly we're going to need to decide who the new CEO is going to be, or, you know, the political side of the game has to do that. But I think I would like to take sort of an active role a little bit to some extent, as much time as I have and willing to give, just to be part of the process, because I think, like you said, I do care, and if I do care, I should put in a little work as well. And I spoke to Rafa the other day, you know, for quite some time. He came to the house and we had coffee together, and we're just like really going through what is going on, you know. And what I am happy about is that we're aligned and we agree, you know, that we should be talking and, you know, coming up with a proper plan. And I'd like to hear that from the council, and and some more players and people just to get a better idea of what's really going on, to be quite honest.
You made a fairly big personal decision this year in terms of your schedule, opting to play on the clay. I mean, how did you have such a change of heart when it came to adding clay to your schedule this year? Roland Garros and Madrid early on in the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was a change of heart. I just think it was never the plan to miss 3 French Opens, you know, to be honest. In 16, I had to. In 17, I went on clay for a couple of days until I spoke to the team and asked them, what do you guys think? I've had such a wonderful year so far. Don't know how the knee is going to react. I think it's going to be fine. But, you know, I just won, I think it was the Australian Open in Indian Wells, the Sunshine Double, yeah. And then, I don't know, I was on the clay and I asked the team what they thought. And they're like, well, just be really sure that you want to do this. And I was like, well, I'm not. So let's not do it. So that was the clay for 17. And then in 18, I was just not in the mood. I was just happy to have an extended break again for longevity reasons, that I could still stay in the game. And then this year I was just not in the mood to have a massive break. And I was also excited about the idea of going back on the clay, because I really feel the body is in a great place right now. And I'd like to play the French Open again and, you know, do a bit of that. So, and mix up the schedule again. So it actually came very naturally. And when I asked the team what they thought, they say, well, don't ask us. As long as you're happy to keep playing tennis, that's all we care about. And whatever tournaments you want to play, that's all good. So that was very nice of my team.
Thrilled to have you. You have a great presence when you play. You also have quite a social media presence. You got to give us the backstory between this photo bombing, though, behind this. This was Monfils, and you saw this. This went viral.
Yeah, that was funny.
What happened here?
So, okay, where do I start here? So, Gail came up to me and was like, "Look, we got to bump up my my Gem Life followers here," and I'm like, "Okay, so what do you want me to do?"
Staged.
Yeah, well, and then I'm like, "Let's have some fun with it, you know? I don't know, do a video and I come and photobomb you, you know?" And Svitolina, she was so nervous she couldn't even look at me when Gail came over to ask me in Dubai. And then so at the end it's actually staged, but I didn't know what they were going to say. I didn't know what I was going to say. So at the end it's natural. But I mean, Gail is such a wonderful guy that I'm always up to do any silly, stupid jokes with him, you know, and I hope it's happening. I hope they're having their followers that they're looking for, and it's a fun page. So
never mind 20 majors. Your kids are going to know you as social media booster. That's got a lot of currency today.
An influencer, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
Roger, thanks for visiting with us. Congrats on the 100 titles, by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks again for being a part of our Tennis Channel desk.
You're welcome.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
Right.